Hello YouTube, welcome back campaigners. This is Campaign Terrain and I am your host, That Guy Cross. This is video 3 of 3 where I'm building this Woodland Shrine for the Tabletop Crafters Guild January guild build. The theme is Woodland Shrine and this is due by the 13th of February. So I have come in just under the wire, going to get this done in time. You're probably seeing this video after that. And that's okay. Yeah, this was a rock last week when you saw me, and now it's gone to this. I'm going to have some links to the Tabletop Crafters Guild, links to specifically the guild build page, things like that at the end. And speaking of links, I'm going to have a link up here to where I built the trees in a previous video, and I'm going to have some links over here. They're probably already on the screen. Please click on those. They really do help out the channel. Also, like, share, and subscribe down that way. So that's it. We're going to jump straight into this, and we're going to get some vegetation onto the rocks. See you in just a second, and thanks for coming.
It's always good to lay out what you're going to need ahead of time. So here I've got my hot glue gun so that I can glue down the trees. I've also got the heat gun so I can remove any hot glue wisps. I've got the PVA glue for gluing down the leaf litter and the grasses to the ground. The leaf litter is going to be made of kitchen herbs, and the grasses are a combination of herbs and sawdust flock that I've previously made. My trees were previously glued to modular bases. I'm going to use the heat gun to heat the base and then simply pull the tree off. The hot glue will let go of that base with no problem. Just takes a couple of seconds to heat it with the gun. Once I've got my trees removed from their bases and I've figured out where I want them to go, it's all a matter of gluing them right back down. Put a lot of glue here in the center just to attach it to the surface of the ground, and after that I will be gluing the roots down individually, one line of glue under each one. You want to go ahead and use this on low temp glue, not high temp, so that you don't burn your fingers doing this. You will be touching the glue rather a lot. If this process doesn't go perfectly, there's nothing to worry about. You can simply get them as good as you can manage and cover the rest with flock. The flock hides a lot of the sins here on the gluing process. Here I'm just following the contours of the rocks into the ground. I've seen trees follow a lot of different patterns on the ground. All of this is going to come out looking fine. Plus it's a fantasy world, so make it look how you want. Not gonna lie, this was not a quick process. It took about a half hour, 40 minutes of just fiddling with each one of these individual roots, but they all turned out fine in the end. Just giving this a final go around, double check that all of the roots are placed down, nothing is left loose, and then it's going to be on to the flocking. This process is pretty simple. Watered down the glue so I could spread it a little easier and put it on everything flat, including up and over the roots themselves. Whilst gluing, simply remember, don't get any glue on any vertical surfaces. You don't want the grass growing up the rocks. Whilst positioning the flock and the leaf litter, I literally just threw it across the surface. I want it to spread out and look natural. I don't want it clumping in any place. I don't want it to look like it's placed or that it's bushes. I want this to look like spread out grasses. the shrubberies, I used 2 different colors, and my only plan here was I went with the lighter where the sun would hit, as if it was a brighter foliage, and the darker color I only used under the trees. So you can do yours how you want. It doesn't even have to be green or yellow. It can be any color shrubbery you want. It's a fantasy, and it's your world. Build it how you want. You'll notice I'm using PVA here. I really should have used a tacky glue, which is a thicker PVA. I think I would have had an easier time getting the bushes to stick, but it all worked out in the end. Then it was time to attach the shrine itself and the pillars on the sides of the pathway. I simply used hot glue for these. Now the shrine does have a small hole in the middle of the dais that it sinks into, but I think the hot glue would have held it on the surface as well. I just like the hole because it hides any hot glue spew out that sticks out the sides. I apologize for the bad camera angle where you can't actually see me attaching this. I could figure out no way to get the camera in there and not just end up punching it. Finally, time to attach the pillars. I simply squidge hot glue up inside the pillar and then push it down onto the small toothpicks that I'd left standing out before. All in all, it turned out great.
So there you go. Went from foam to some rock platforms, built the shrine, the little pillars, built the path going up to it, got a stone plate platform that the shrine itself sits on. Then we added some vegetation and trees on top of the rocks and came out with a pretty epic, fun little build. This could be used for lots of different things. I did glue the shrine down, but you don't have to. You could put standing stones, glowing crystals, the big bad, whatever you want on that platform. You could use this for lots of different things. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's inspired you to build some things. If it has, please remember, click these links, click those links. They all help out the channel. I appreciate it. This is Campaign Terrain. I'm your host, Cross. I love you, and until next time, I wish you luck in your campaign. Thanks for coming.